Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is V Geek, where we talk about wisdom and spiritual concepts to help you live a vibing and thriving life. And I thought that for today, we'll go back to basics. We'll talk about why it's important to embark on a spiritual journey. And if you find yourself here, that means that you're in a good place. It's an absolute privilege to be finding yourself on this path. And I thought that this video might help you, give you some comfort around how to begin your journey, why it's important, and to share some practical ways to keep yourself on the path and do it with grace. All right, let's get into it. So what exactly is a spiritual path? And everyone has access to their own spiritual path. It may come sooner, it may come later, but everyone definitely has access to it. And what a spiritual journey really is a quest to understand more of yourself, to dive into your inner world, to unfold in a way that is authentic to you, to achieve inner peace, and ultimately expand your consciousness. So I'll share with you the first time I knew that I was on a spiritual path. I probably was dipping into a spiritual path in earlier years of my life, but I just wasn't sure of it. But this time, I know now that the first entree onto the spiritual path more consciously was when, and I've said this before in previous videos, was when I had a terrible breakup. The end of that particular relationship just sort of asked me to reflect on what is it that's within myself that is reflecting a world where I see myself as undeserving, unworthy. And I just knew intuitively there was just so much inner work to be done, that there were so many wounds that I needed to heal and release. And the world was generally reflecting back to me what I was feeling inside. So it was the first time where I chose to take full responsibility of what was happening in the outer world by going into my inner world and working within that so that I can reflect change that I want to see on the outside. So looking back, I'm really thankful for the dissolution of this particular relationship because it really has put me on the path. I haven't looked back since. I've just experienced so much growth. And ever since then, that was about 3 years ago, I've been on this journey to discover more. It's probably why I'm here with you today, sharing you with what I do know, which is not very much, I'll admit, but hopefully with time and through this collective wisdom, we'll grow together, we'll learn together. And I think that this spiritual journey that you are on right now is a precious one, and it's always an ongoing one. So let's remind ourselves that we are on a continuous journey of unfolding. There is no point in which where you get to your destination. The journey is the destination, and this is our own precious life, and it is an amazing privilege to discover that we are on this spiritual journey right here, right now. I'm super excited for you that you are on this path, because the transformations that you are going to go through, the growth that you're going to have, and just where you're going to be in 3, 5, 10 years from now is going to be beyond your wildest dreams, because you are now riding on the tails of the universe. You are now being guided by your soul, by your spirit, and you know that if you are guided by your soul and by your spirit, there is nothing that can go wrong. All you have to do is keep yourself open, be curious, observe everything without judgment, and know that you are on the path, you are being guided, and that ascension is absolutely yours, guaranteed. I just really want to stress the fact that it's so important to not only start, but keep yourself going. And especially if you're early in the journey, I know it's so confusing. I know you feel a bit alone. You might feel a bit isolated. You're going through a wild change in your perspective, and you don't know where to go for answers and for support. But I'm here to tell you now that this is a normal part of the process. And the most important thing is that you stay on the path. You found it and you stay on it. No matter how fast you go on the path or how slow, You just know that you have found it, it is yours, and all you have to do, your only responsibility right here is to walk it. Walk it to the very end and see where you'll end up. And already I can tell you that this is the path to fulfillment. This is the path to realizing and self-actualizing your purpose in life. And I know it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of trust, because the way that the universe guides you is one step at a time. They don't give you the whole plan. They don't give you the whole map and the itinerary that you're going to, be here in 3 days, and all you have to do is just take this left turn and go right here and then go straight for 300 miles and then you'll be there. The universe works in such a way where you are constantly guided one step at a time. And it's sort of practicing or building that muscle of faith in the process where you just know one step at a time. But I'm here to tell you that it is so fulfilling. I know I'm a fair way away from knowing myself fully, but I can tell you now, whatever little of the path that I have walked so far, it is magical. It is a miracle, really. And I'm just learning so much about myself, and I'm really getting clear about what's important to me, what's not important to me, leave the rest and move with the conviction that I am aligned to my true self and that the path will reveal itself as I walk along. So what I say to you is, I know that it could be challenging when you first find yourself on this path. You're confused, you don't know who to turn to. A lot of people around you might not be on the same wavelength, might not be walking the same path, or know about this world entirely. And it can be alienating, I get it. But you have to trust yourself. You know for yourself that you have found the path. You know for yourself that you must walk it. And I'm telling you that the universe works in such a way that it only reveals to you a path the next 3 feet in front of you. And you just have to keep walking, and then the next 3 feet will be revealed. So in this way, it takes a lot of trust on your part. Just keep the faith that you are on the right path. Whatever comes in your way, even if there's obstacles, even when there's detours, that you have the tools within yourself to navigate all of that, and that you will find yourself where you need to be right at the very moment in perfect timing. And embracing the process and trusting in these steps will make your whole journey a more graceful one. You can just sort of sit back and relax and go, okay, everything in front of me is just unfolding the way it's meant to be. So with that, you just have to sit in your own power, sit in your own faith that everything is going to turn out the way it's meant to turn out, and that you have power over how you see the unfolding. Don't white knuckle your way through your path. You release your hands from the steering wheel and let the car take you where you need to go. So right now I want to share with you 3 practical steps to begin your spiritual journey and keep yourself moving along the path. And first and foremost, I cannot stress the value of meditation. And I know that if you're kind of new to this journey and new to meditation in general, I really felt a shift in my meditation practice when I went from just mindfulness, like, checking in with my body sensations and, feeling my butt on the floor and, how my back is resting on the chair, etc. I moved from just being in tune to body sensations to actually being in tune to the inner world within me. So it's an energy that you tap into and you realize how you are feeling at any given moment when you can descend into your inner world, observe what's going on energetically without attachment, without judgment. And that's when the real magic begins. That's when you can start to shift your energy in the way that you want, because you are coming from a new level of awareness that you've never had before. And it's like with anything, right? Once you're aware that you're doing a certain thing, say you want to change your behavior, once you're aware that you're doing a certain thing, then you have the chance to change it. And this is the same thing. So if you can deepen your meditation practice to the point where you're actually tuning into your inner energy, what's going on for you in energetic sense, then you have a chance at going, hey, all right, so I'm feeling this energy. It's not really working for me. I want to feel like this instead, or I want to have this energy instead. And so now you have a chance at turning it around and actually dipping into an energy that you actually want to reverberate out there into the world. So again, I would encourage you to look into meditation practices that vibe with you. There are so many. I'm not here to advocate a particular one, but I do want to say that it's beyond just mindfulness meditation, but more into a meditation as a pathway to step into your inner world, to see what's going on energetically. And you can ask yourself some questions about how you want to feel when you come out of meditation. So I really do encourage you to look at some meditation techniques out there that might resonate with you. I know that for me, certain guided meditations that are of this nature are very helpful for me to get you started. So definitely research on your own what resonates with you. Start off with some guided meditations that might be easier than just, doing it on your own and navigating this inner world on your own. And then once you do a few of these guided meditations, you understand what the structure of the meditation is, so that you can guide yourself into that inner world and deepen your practice that way. While I'm making recommendations about finding teachers out there who can show you all these meditation techniques, I also recommend you, especially in the start of your journey, and I know I've done this for myself, is look for books on spiritual teachings. Look for books that talk about awakening. Look for books that give you a really good, solid foundation about how spirituality works, how the journey of unfolding works, and why it's important. So I can tell you a few foundational books right now. So A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and of course The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle also. Great books. And and believe me, if the book doesn't resonate with you after reading a chapter or two, just know that maybe it's not time to understand this book or to have this book teach you in your life right now. I remembered before I had the relationship that put me on the path, I came across The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and I knew Oprah was really into Eckhart Tolle, and he was like a bit of a spiritual rock star, and I was like, oh, who is this guy? So I was curious, and I started to read his book, and it did not gel with me at all. I just couldn't understand it. It went all over my head. I was like, what is this presence thing? What is this, tuning into who you are, and the false self is not who you are, and what your real self is pure presence. And oh gosh, it was totally over my head, and I did not understand it at all. And then fast forward a few years later, when I had the breakdown of the relationship, and I was on this path to understanding more about spirituality, or more about evolving my inner self, that I stumbled upon that book again, and everything started to make sense. So again, I do encourage you just to shop around, go for books where the title resonates with you, even if you don't know why. Read a couple of chapters. If it's not continuing to resonate with you, just let it go. Just maybe mark it for next time, and then only stick with books that appear within your purview, that resonate with you, because those are the books that are going to give you the right teachings right at this time, right at this point of your journey. And the third practice that I want to share with you is journaling. Now, I myself, I'm just beginning to start journaling, and I think Ali Abdaal calls it his morning dump. And for me, it's actually been helpful. I've only been doing it for the last week or so, but more on a spiritual bent, and just checking in about what it is that I want to create from an energetic and spiritual perspective. So that practice has been really, really helpful. You get into this flow state where you're opening a channel for something deeper within you to express itself through the form of writing. And if you can get yourself in a relaxed state, maybe do your meditation, and then pick up your pen and start journaling. And don't really judge anything that comes out. Don't force yourself to write anything that from a conscious level. Just let the pen flow. And I really do advocate for pen and paper method. Typing, I'm an avid typer. I love typing, and I create my notes that way. But there's just something visceral about pen and paper. I think it really creates that open channel for spirit to come in, and by spirit I mean your inner guidance, your soul, to wield the pen through you. And when you get into a state where you're just writing and you're in flow, answers come to you. Things drop in, you get downloads, you get insights that you've been pondering for a very long time using your analytical brain, your prefrontal cortex, but all of a sudden it becomes clear what the answer is through this process. So at least I would encourage you to give it a try for 2 weeks. Set aside 5 minutes a day, every morning, tack it on after something that you do every morning. So maybe after you make your coffee or your tea, sit down with your coffee and tea and just free write for 5 minutes and see what you get. And then after those 2 weeks, reflect back what has been written and see what kind of insights you can glean from them. And if it proves useful for you, or if it, even if it helps you clear your mind, then keep at it. If it doesn't do anything for you, well, you can just leave it. There's no pressure to keep going. You don't have to, drudge your way through anything. And remember, the spiritual unfolding is a graceful one. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't feel like you're struggling to push a rock up a mountain or anything like that. The idea is to find something that resonates with you. So those are my 3 practices that I'm currently doing that I have found helpful. And please let me know if you found other practices that might be helpful for you, that might be helpful for the community out here listening in. And I can't wait to hear more about your journey. Let me share with you 3 tips to help you stay committed to this path so that you can realize your true self. And the first tip I have for you is to really remain consistent. I'm an advocate for just, 5 minutes a day, every day, and everyone can do 5 minutes a day, whatever it is, whether it's 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of just reading or finding a podcast on spirituality. You absolutely deserve 5 minutes, if not more, to nourish your soul, to increase your learning, to expand your consciousness, and you are totally worth it. So remember that when you feel like you don't have time, 5 minutes a day is all you need to commit yourself to, and that's it. And more often than not, you'll end up getting into a flow state. You'll probably end up doing 10 minutes, you'll end up probably doing 20 minutes, and then soon enough, the learnings and the shifts that you're going to have and enjoy from this process of unfolding in your spiritual path will bleed into every aspect of your life, and that you'll be just living it, you'll be embodying it. And then you don't really have to think about, okay, I need to really block out time to do my meditation for 20 minutes. I'm not going to need to, all right, find the time just to, white knuckle my way through this journaling process. No, it's going to feel more natural, and it's going to feel like it's just a natural part of you and your life. So to get to that point though, I would say consistency is the key. 5 minutes is all you need. And be kind to yourself if you miss a day. Don't go into, oh God, I blew it. I didn't do it yesterday, so I'm not going to do it for the rest of the time now. No. Again, just gently guide yourself back onto the path. Do your 5 minutes, and hopefully you'll enjoy it so much. You'll find all these results and benefits coming out of these practices that you'll naturally want to extend your time to be more than 5 minutes anyway. So consistency, absolutely key for your spiritual success. The second tip I have for you is finding your community or finding your tribe. And I get it. It's a lonely journey. It can be quite alienating because you feel like you might be going crazy, that people don't understand that what you're going through. But trust me, there are people out there who are going through the same things or have gone through the same things as you. And with the power of the internet nowadays, it's so great that, you don't necessarily have to find it in your church or in your religious group or what have you. You can actually find your tribe out there online. And hopefully, when a community is built around this YouTube channel, This could be a community for you. Find a community out there that vibrates with your energy, and that will help you stay motivated. That will help you see that you are not alone in this process, and that will keep you going on this path. And number 3, guys, is patience. This is the worst one for me. I'm a very impatient person, as I found out. I want results like that. But I realized that this impatient energy is really not doing anything for you. You just have to let go, let the unfolding occur naturally. Whatever timing it happens on will happen in perfect timing. Just know that it will be perfect. And whatever setbacks that you have, and trust me, you will have setbacks. Just know that this is all part of the journey, that you must climb that rock in front of you in order to get to the summit. Again, just be patient with yourself in your commitment to daily practices. So again, if you miss one, don't worry about it. Gently guide yourself back, and just be patient with yourself in terms of the long game. The journey of unfolding is an eternal one. I don't think you'll ever finish. Again, I want to reiterate that the journey is the destination in a spiritual path. And whenever you feel lost or you feel like you're not making progress, just sit back, maybe turn to one of those practices like journaling and meditation, and realign with your true self again and restart. That's all you have to do. And so patience is something I'm learning to cultivate as well, but it's super important for you to stay on this path. And just remember that your North Star is whatever is of your truest self coming to the fore. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of self-discovery. I am so excited for you that if you've started on this journey, the transformative experience and power that you're going to have is nothing short of amazing, and it will just make you want to discover more and embark further along on this journey. And remember to find things that will work for you. So whether it's meditation, whether it's journaling, keep discovering more teachers out there who can guide you along the intellectual understanding of spirituality as well. Remember, just stick with what resonates with you and leave the rest. And I hope this has given you some food for thought, some practical ways to help you get started and keep going on the journey. And if you have any stories that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe, or share this video if you got something out of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.